Hi, I'm Dave Ward from the Ward Law Firm, and I help protect business owners who are facing divorce. Facing a divorce is never an easy thing to do for anybody, but there are things that you can do in order to better prepare yourself for what's to come through the divorce process. And the first thing that you should do is speak with an attorney. Speaking with an attorney at the outset, rather than waiting to some further point down the process, can yield a number of benefits, frequently some that are unanticipated at the time the conversation occurs. And I'd like to tell you a story about a client of mine that we're going to call Jim. Jim was married to a woman who was stationed overseas as part of the U.S. Army. Well, one day Jim got that call that nobody wants to get, and she told him, "I don't think this marriage is working out. I want a divorce." As hard and surprising as it was to receive that call, what happened next was even more surprising. She stopped sending any sort of support payment to help the household. Jim and his wife had 2 small boys, and while Jim had a good job, he was dependent upon the income that his wife was sending back to help support the family and make sure that the boys were taken care of in the manner that they needed to be. So Jim was very concerned when he came to me, and what I was able to discuss with him in that initial consultation was that the Army and most of the armed services have regulations that require soldiers and sailors to support their family members. And I was able to tell Jim what he needed to do to go and get the assistance of his wife's chain of command in order to compel her to immediately continue supporting the family throughout the entire divorce process. So this is just one example of things that can happen during a consultation. Jim didn't expect that to be the case. He didn't come with any anticipation that that was something that could be remedied so quickly. So being able to sit down and have that conversation immediately changed the game for Jim, because he no longer had to worry about whether or not he was going to be able to support the boys throughout this process. This is just one of the benefits that comes from speaking to an attorney at the outset rather than waiting to some point later down the line. Again, my name is David Ward, and I help protect the small business owner facing divorce.